7, paragraph page 666. Last headword was stuff. Full stage revision. Okay, so let's start from where we ended. Ready?
Okay.
Here we go. What's the difference between the word thing and the word stuff? What's the difference between the word thing and the word stuff? The difference between
The difference
the
between
word thing
the word thing
and the word stuff
and word
is that
stuff is
thing
that
is a countable noun,
thing is a countable noun,
whereas stuff
whereas stuff
is an uncountable noun.
is uncountable noun.
Very good. Give me an example of the word stuff. Give me an example of the word stuff, please. Most of the stuff
Most of the stuff
Susan posts
Susan
on
post
social media
on
is
social media
rubbish.
is rubbish.
I need to pack
I need to pack
all my stuff
all my stuff
for the holidays.
for the holidays.
Very good. Have you got lots of stuff to do tomorrow? Have you got lots of stuff to do tomorrow? Yes or no?
Yes,
I have lots of stuff
I have lots of stuff
to do tomorrow.
to do tomorrow.
Very good. What kind of stuff does your country manufacture? What kind of stuff does your country manufacture? My country
My country
manufactures
manufactures
uh,
cars.
cars. Very good. When you go to a restaurant, what type of stuff do you like to eat? When you go to a restaurant, what kind of stuff do you like to eat? When I go
When I
to a
go
restaurant,
to a restaurant,
I like to eat.
I like to eat sushi.
Very good. When you were 12 years old kid, what kind of stuff do you and your friends used to enjoy doing? When you were 12-year-old kids, what kind of stuff did you and your friends used to enjoy doing? When we were
When we were
12-year-old kids,
12 years old,
kids,
12 years old kids.
no S, 12-year-old,
12, あれ
12,
Sorry, 12,
12-year-old
12-year-old
kids,
kids.
my friends and I
My friend and I
used to enjoy.
used to enjoy
What do you do?
12, 12, what, used to
Play
basketball.
basketball. Very good. Used to enjoy basketball. Okay, next let's have models for probability. Okay, here we go. Tell me a common way of communicating how probable we think something is, besides using words like sure, probably, or perhaps. Tell me a common way of communicating how probable we think something is, besides using words like sure, probably, or perhaps. A common way
A common way
of communicating
of communicating
how probable we think
how probable we think
something is,
something is,
besides using words
besides using word
like sure,
like sure,
probably,
probably,
or perhaps,
or perhaps,
is by using
is by using
modal verbs. Modal verbs.
modal verbs.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. I may buy
I may
some
buy
new clothes
some
next
new clothes
weekend.
next weekend.
Where which model can express the idea that we're sure something is true because it makes logical sense in a particular situation? Which model can express the idea that we're sure something is true because it makes logical sense in a particular situation? The model must
The model must
can express the
can
idea
express the
we
idea
are sure
we are sure
something is true
something is true
because it makes
because it makes
logical sense
logical
in a
sense
particular situation.
in particular situation.
Where give me an example. Give me an example, please. Allison
Alison
must have a lot of money.
was have
One more. Must have
must have
a lot of money.
a lot of money
because she owns
because she owns
houses in four
houses in four
different countries.
different countries.
Very good. Which model can express the idea of probably? Which model can express the idea of probably? The model should
The model should
and ought to
and ought
can
to
express the
can,
idea
can express the idea
of probably.
of probably.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. They just said
They just said
on the radio that
on the radio
it
that
ought to be nice
it ought to be
and
nice
sunny tomorrow.
and sunny tomorrow.
Very good. Which model can express the idea of perhaps? Which model can express the idea of perhaps? The models may,
The models may,
might, and could
might, and could
can express the
can
idea
can express the idea
of perhaps.
of perhaps.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Quick. If you run,
Quick, if you
you
run,
might catch that bus.
you might catch that bus.
Very good. Which model express the idea that we're sure something is not true because it makes no logical sense in a particular situation? Which model expresses the idea that we're sure something is not true because it makes no logical sense in a particular situation? The model can't
The model can't
expresses the idea
expresses the idea
that we're sure
that we are sure
something is not true
something is not true
because it makes
because it
no
makes
logical sense
no logical
in a
sense
particular situation.
in a particular situation.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Amy
Amy
can't be home.
can be home.
She would have opened the door
She would have opened the
by
door
now.
by now.
We've been knocking for ages.
We've knocking
We've
for
been
ages.
knocking for ages.
We've knocking for ages.
Very good. Okay, now I will give you a sentence and you say a sentence with the same meaning but with a model, okay? Okay, number one. She's just spent 3 hours in the gym, so I'm sure she's tired. She just spent 3 hours in the gym, so I'm sure she's tired. She's just spent
He's just spent
3 hours in the
three,
gym,
3 hours in the gym,
so she must be tired.
so she must be tired.
Very good. Perhaps she knows where the exit is. Perhaps she knows where the exit is. He might know
He might know
where the exit is.
where the exis,
Exit is.
exit is.
Very good. Next, I'm certain that he isn't in his office because the lights are off. I'm certain that he isn't in his office because the lights are off. He can't be
He can't be
in his office
in his office
because the lights are off.
because the
The lights are
lights
off.
off are.
One more. He can't
The
be
lights he can't
in
be
his office
in his
because
office
the lights are
because the
off.
lights are off.
Very good. I think the cake will probably taste very good. I think the cake will taste probably very good. That cake should
That
taste
cake should taste
very good.
very good.
Very good. Okay. What do we mean by a government official? What do we mean by a government official? By a government
By a
official,
government official,
we mean someone
we mean someone
who works
who
for
works
the government,
for the government,
usually with
usually with
a certain amount
a
of power.
certain amount of power.
Very good. What do we mean by the official language of a country? What do we mean by the official language of a country? By the official language
By the official
of a
language
country,
of a country,
we mean the language
we mean the
that
language
is used
that is used
by the government
by the
and
government
in school
and in school
in countries where
in countries
a
where
number of different
a number of different
languages are spoken.
languages are spoken.
Very good. Would you be willing to leave your home and move abroad to be with someone you were in love with? Would you be willing to leave your home and move abroad to be with someone you were in love with? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'd be willing
I be willing
to leave my home
to leave my home
and move abroad
and move abroad
to be with somebody
to be with
I
somebody
were in love with.
I
I
I
were in
were
love with.
I were in love with.
Very good. What percentage of couples that fall in love do you think remain in love forever? What percentage of couples that fall in love do you think remain in love forever? I think about
I think about 50%
of couples
of
that
couples
fall in love
that fall in love
remain in love forever.
remain in love forever.
Very good. Would you like to be a priest? Would you like to be a priest? Yes or no?
No,
I wouldn't like
I wouldn't
to
like
be a priest.
to be a priest
Why not? Why not? Because
because I'm Buddhist.
very good. Okay, next. What do we mean when we say that some people don't practice what they preach? What do we mean when we say that some people don't practice what they preach? When we say
When we say
that some people
that some
don't
people
practice
don't
what they
practice
preach,
what they
we
preach,
mean that
we mean
they
that
give advice
they give up
to other
advice
people
to other people
about what is right, about
how about
what is right,
about what is right,
but they don't follow
but they don't follow
this advice themselves.
this advice themselves.
Very good. Okay, what's a kingdom? What's a kingdom? A kingdom
A kingdom
is a country
is a country
which has a king
which has a king
or a queen.
or queen.
Very good. Which countries does the United Kingdom include? Which countries does the United Kingdom include? The United Kingdom
The United Kingdom
include England,
include England,
Scotland,
Scotland,
Wales, and
Wales,
Northern Ireland.
and Northern Ireland.
Very good. In what case do we use the word an instead of a? In what case do we use the word an instead of a? We use
We
the
use
word an
the word an
instead of a
instead of a
in any case
in any
where the
case
following word
where the following word
starts with a vowel sound.
start with the vowel sound.
Vowel sound. Very good. Okay, next. Can you think of a case where it'd be wrong to send someone who had killed another person to prison? Can you think of any case where it'd be wrong to send someone who had killed another person to prison? Yes or no?
Yes,
I can think of
I can
a
think of
case
a
where
case where
it'd be wrong
it will be long
to send someone
to send someone
who had killed
who had killed
another
another
person
person
to prison.
to prison.
Very good. Tell us, please. If a soldier
If a soldier
killed an enemy.
killed an enemy,
Very good. Okay, give me a sentence with that is in it. Give me a sentence with the words that is in it, please. Everybody
everybody
loves that movie.
loves that movie.
That is everybody
That is everybody
I've spoken to.
I've spoken to.
I'll go to the
I'll go to the police office,
post office
post office
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
That is
That is,
if I have enough
if
time.
if I have enough time.
Very good. Okay, what's an idiom? What's an idiom? An
Idiom.
idiom
An
is
idiom
an expression
is an expression
or a group of words
or a group of words
that has a meaning.
that has the
We
meaning.
cannot guess
We cannot guess
just by looking at the
just
words.
just by looking at the words.
Very good. What does the idiom hang on mean? What does the idiom hang on mean? The idiom
The idiom
hang on means
hang on means
wait.
wait.
Very good. Would a waiter in a top restaurant say hang on a minute to a group of customers? Would a waiter in a top restaurant say hang on a minute to a group of customers before finding them a table? No.
No.
A waiter
A waiter
in a top restaurant
in a top restaurant
wouldn't say hang on
wouldn't say hang
a
on
minute
a
to a
minute
group of customers
to a group of
before
customers
finding them
before finding them
a table.
a table
Why not? Why not? Because the
because
idiom hang on
the idiom hang on
is only used
is only used
in informal situation.
in informal situation.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Hang on.
Hang on.
I left my phone
I left my home
upstairs. I'll
upstairs.
be back in a minute.
I'll be back in a minute.
Very good. Okay, next, what's the proper number of players on each side for a game of football? What's the proper number of players for each side for a game of football? The proper number
The proper number
of players
of
on each
players
side
on each side
for a game of football
for a game of football
is 11.
is 11.
Regard, is it considered improper behavior in your country for a guest to arrive for dinner at someone's home empty handed, that is, without even a bottle of wine or some flowers? Is it considered improper behavior in your country for a guest to arrive for dinner at someone's home empty handed? That is, without even a bottle of wine or some flowers? Yes or no?
No,
It isn't considered
it isn't considered
improper behavior
improper
in my
behavior
country
in my
for a
country
guest to arrive
for a guest to arrive
for dinner at
for,
someone's home
for dinner at someone's home
empty handed.
empty
It's
handed.
fine.
It's fine.
Very good. Okay, what do the words backwards, forwards, sideways, etc. mean? What do the words backwards, forwards, and sideways mean? The words backwards,
The words backward,
forwards, and
forwards,
sideways means
and sideways means
towards the back,
towards the back,
towards the front,
towards the front,
and towards the side.
and towards the side.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're moving
You are moving
backwards and forwards.
backwards and forwards.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're moving
You are
sideways.
moving sideways.
Very good. What's my hand doing? What's my hand doing? Your hand's moving
Your hands moving
up and down, upwards and downwards.
upwards and downwards.
Very good. Count the numbers in English from 10 to 15 backwards quickly. Count the numbers in English from 10 to 15 backwards quickly, please. 15,
To
14,
14,
remember? 15,
15,
14,
14,
13, 12,
13, 12,
11,
11,
10.
10.
Very good. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm counting the numbers
I'm counting the numbers
from 10 to 15
from 10 to 15
backwards quickly.
backwards quickly.
Very good. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're looking
You're
upwards.
looking upwards.
Very good. Okay, what kind of music irritates you? What kind of music irritates you? The kind of
Irritate.
music
The kind of
that
music
irritates me
that irritates me
is
is hip hop.
hip hop music. Very good. Okay, when you're in a restaurant, do you get irritated if people at another table are talking very loudly? When you're in a restaurant, do you get irritated if people at another table are talking very loudly? Yes or no?
Yes.
When I'm in a
When
restaurant,
I'm in a restaurant,
I get irritated
I get irritated
if people
if
at
people
another table
at another
are
table
talking very loudly.
are talking very loudly.
Very good. As a rule, do people in your town go out more on Saturday evenings than on Sunday evenings or vice versa? As a rule, do people in your town go out more on Saturday evenings than on Sunday evenings or vice versa? As a rule,
As a rule,
people in my town
people in my town
go out more on
go out more on
Saturday evenings
Saturday evenings
than on Sunday evenings.
than on Sunday evenings.
Very good. Okay, next. What kind of things do people often mention when they're telling you about a holiday they've just been on? What kind of things do people often mention when they're telling you about a holiday they've just been on? People often mention
People often mention
the weather,
the
the
weather,
food,
the food,
etc. when
etc.
they're telling you
when they are telling you
about a holiday
about the holiday
they've just been on.
they've just been on.
Ricky, give me another sentence with the word mention in it. Give me another sentence with the word mention in it, please. In the in his speech.
In
Oh, one
his
more. In the speech
in the
to
speech
his employees,
to his employee,
Tom mentioned
Tom mentioned
that there was
that there
a
was
possibility
a
he
possibility
might retire.
he might retire.
Very good. Would you like to have the leadership of your country in your hands? Would you like to have the leadership of your country in your hands? Yes or no?
No,
I wouldn't like to
I wouldn't
have
like to have
the leadership
the leadership
of my country
of my
in
country
my hands.
in my hands
Why not? Why not? Because
because
it's a stressful
it's
job.
yes, it's a stressful job.
Very good. Okay, next. Do you ever wonder what will happen to you in the future? Do you ever wonder what will happen to you in the future? Yes or no?
Yes,
I sometimes wonder
I some I sometimes wonder
what will happen to me
what will happen to
in
me
the future.
in the future.
What do you suppose will happen to you in the future? What do you suppose will happen to you in the future? I suppose that
I suppose that
I will
mm,
be
I will be
a billionaire
a billionaire
in the future.
in the future.
Very good. Have you ever wondered why some people are rich whilst others are poor? Have you ever wondered why some people are rich whilst others are poor? Yes or no?
No,
I've never wondered
I've never
why
wondered
some people are
why some
rich
people are rich
whilst others
whilst
are
others
poor.
are poor.
Give me an example of the verb wonder used to make a request. Give me an example of the verb wonder used to make a request. I wonder
I wonder
if you could wait a moment
if you could wait a moment
while I make a quick phone call.
while I make
A,
quick
a quick phone call.
a quick phone call.
I was wondering
I was wondering
if I could speak
if I could speak
to the manager, please.
to the manager, please.
Weged, why are children more often filled with wonder than adults? Why are children more often filled with wonder than adults? I think the reason
I think the reason
children are more
children are more
often filled with
often
wonder
filled with
than
wonder
adults is
than the adult is
that so many things
that so many
are
things
new to them.
are new to them.
Reggie, name me one of the seven wonders of the world. Name me one of the seven wonders of the world, please. The pyramids
The pyramid
is one
is one
of the seven wonders
of the seven
of the
wonders
world.
of the world.
What's the most wonderful thing that have ever happened to you in your life? What's the most wonderful thing that has ever happened to you in your life? The most
The
wonderful
most
thing
wonderful things
that's ever happened
that ever happened
to me in my life
to me in my life
is
is
like
is
having a child.
yeah, having a child.
Son or daughter? Son?
Son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, next. What kind of work do you imagine you'd get fed up with very quickly? What kind of work do you imagine you'd get fed up with very quickly? I imagine
I imagine
I'd get fed up
I get fed up
very quickly
very
if
quickly
I work as.
if I work
Okay,
as.
so we stop there for today, but very good.
Okay.
Thank you very much. See
Yep.
you again
Thank
next lesson.
you.